Well, hello, lunatics. Today I'm going to give you an overall view of what I've learned in crypto. And what would I know? Well, 4 years ago, I got interested in crypto, and I also had started attending all sorts of crypto events and meeting some interesting people. I watched hours of crypto videos during the pandemic. And most importantly, the biggest lesson in crypto is to actually invest. And I had to invest and I had to lose a lot of money so that I could take this seriously. And I've watched a ton of content. I've heard all sorts of different perspectives on crypto, and I've been following the market closely for the last 4 years. So you can take out of that whatever you want, because let's face it, here on any channel, everyone's a crypto expert. And not only that, folks, but any idiot, a blind monkey, could pick a selection of cryptocurrencies and be an expert, because the odds are that their portfolio will pump at some stage and it will look good. And what I'm seeing is loads of other crypto influencers tell you, if you'd got into this coin when I told you, and if you'd got out at the top, your portfolio would be well, da 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 da. But they don't tell you when to get out. And they haven't called these. So there's not very many ethical people in crypto that I've found. There's a few, but there's not many. And why me? Well, I am a person who likes to get to the point really quickly. I've had to watch a lot of waffly crypto videos that take forever to get to the point. Whereas my videos, you'll find they're very brief. They get to the point. They give you the information that you want. And then you can do with that what you will. You could choose to watch another video or not. So today's video is going to be slightly longer, because I know that some of you like to watch slightly longer content on crypto. So this is for you, and this is to really summarize everything that I've been following. So let's go back a step. My videos are for people that are relatively new to crypto, and they don't understand all of the terminology, all the crypto geek nonsense that a lot of videos have. So let's start with the global financial markets. So we're currently in a situation where governments globally they've created so much debt, they've printed so much money, that we are now paying way more in interest payments on the debt than we actually earn, which means that we have an unsustainable bubble that is going to burst soon. And how's that going to impact you? Well, you probably, if you're like me and you live in the UK, then you're already noticing that, folks. You're already noticing the cost of living is going up immensely. You only need to have a trip down the supermarket now to realize that your spending power is getting worse and worse. And why is this? Because we printed so much money. COVID was a disaster globally. Lots of money was printed, a lot more than normal. And consequently, your spending power has gone down, which means, to keep it simply, that if you're not earning about 16% on your money at the moment, that you're losing spending power. So there's the facts, folks, that traditional methodologies are not going to work. And a lot of people are turning to crypto because they believe that this is the leveler, the game changer, the thing that's going to make the whole financial system fairer, which is why the governments globally are making it so difficult for people to invest in crypto. So let's take the UK. I mean, it's such a joke, really. But for our own safety now, they've stopped us getting access to certain crypto exchanges. Now, I was lucky to get in on one called Nexo early enough. Now, Nexo, you can hold your normal currency, your pounds sterling, your US dollars, and you can earn up to 12% interest just by having it sit in your Nexo account rather than your bank account. So let's just take that aspect of it. No wonder the banking system are trying to make it difficult for you to invest in crypto. They're trying to tell you that it's dangerous to invest in crypto, and it is. There's certain exchanges, if you know, Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX was a very well-known and regulated, well, not regulated, but it was very well-known and well-promoted exchange globally. And it went under because you've got some idiots running it, doing unethical things with your money, and he's going to do a bit of time now. We won't mention that his mother was the primary fundraiser for the Biden campaign, and FTX donated 50 million US dollars to the Biden campaign, which not many people talk about. And where is that money now, folks? There's a question for another day. But that's the sort of corruption that we're dealing with. So we've got the banking system. They don't pay you any money on your assets. In fact, they even charge you sometimes. If you've got a business bank account in the UK, they're charging you money for the honour of having your money in their bank, where they can then lend that out and earn a ton of money on it. And the reason that they can do that is because they've got away with it for so long that they haven't even thought that that's a problem. And they're hoping that little old you and me don't wake up to this almost criminally negligent system that the bank has at the moment. So when currency debases, it means the spending power will go down, your assets will likely massively plummet in value. Your house price is almost certainly going to crash at some stage, although the housing market is different because over time that usually is a good investment. But there is going to be another dip in that coming up when the global economic system collapses. So why Bitcoin? So let's look at cryptocurrency as general. You've got two types of cryptocurrency. You've got Bitcoin and you've got everything else. So Bitcoin is the gold standard. It's the leader in cryptocurrency. And the reason that Bitcoin is so powerful is that no one knows who Satoshi is. No one knows who created it. So anyone that wants to go out after it, the governments, hitmen, anyone around the world, they don't know who to target. Bitcoin has been very cleverly set up that no one can touch it. One government might shut it down, but it's still going in other governments around the world. And not only that, but there's only 28 million Bitcoins ever going to be in existence, which means it has a fixed supply, which means it doesn't suffer the same inflation that traditional currency does when the government prints money. So a lot of institutions and a lot of people have been investing in Bitcoin for a long time now. And if you look back 4 years ago and further, in fact, not even 4 years for some of them, all of the big banks, the institutions, they have been telling you, stay away from cryptocurrency, stay away from Bitcoin. It's a scam, it's a scam, it's a scam. Of course, they're going to tell you it's a scam, because if you realize what it really was, you'd take all of your money out of the bank and you would have put it in Bitcoin, and you would have made more money on that than any other asset currently in the world globally. The people that got into Bitcoin early, and I wish I could say I was one of them, but I definitely wasn't. You know, I'm late to the party here, playing catch up, watching news reports, seeing what's going on. There's Bitcoin millionaires that are sitting pretty right now. And you've got a lot of governments and you've got a lot of banking systems really worried that people will wake up to it and they will start investing in it. So all of the people 4 years ago that were telling you it's a scam, the investment banks, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, Grayscale, all of these institutions saying stay away from it. Their investors told them that we want access to Bitcoin. And so as of this year, they've all had to set up their own exchange traded funds or ETFs to give their investors access to Bitcoin. So this is happening, folks. This is really happening. And you know that when BlackRock gets involved, and they look like they're looking to buy out Bitcoin at the moment. They have controlling stakes in 4 of the 5 biggest Bitcoin miners, and they're buying a lot of Bitcoin right now to satisfy the needs of their customers, which is why we're currently sitting on a dip. So don't worry, folks. It's almost definitely only a temporary situation. And the only thing that wouldn't make that definite is something like a nuclear war, something massive that would disrupt everyone globally. So right now, and definitely not investment advice, folks, do your own research like I have 4 years worth. In fact, you make up your own mind. But it's probably, as far as I'm concerned, looking at every other asset globally right now, Bitcoin seems to be the safest of all of them. And not only that, folks, if you're holding Bitcoin, you can earn interest on it, or what they call in crypto staking rewards. You can stake your crypto and you can earn on it. So you can't do that in a bank, although they won't pay you very much. You go and ask a bank how much money, how much interest you can get. You won't get anything close to what you can get on cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, if you stake it. So there you go. There is a few reasons just to take digital assets seriously right now. So aside from that, then you've got regulators and banks. So governments, regulators, and banks are going out for crypto at the moment because they threaten their entire ecosystem. Their whole infrastructure is dependent on not many people adopting digital assets. And let's look at the stats, folks. In the last 6 months, adoption of cryptocurrency has doubled globally. So the stats speak for themselves. People are slowly getting on board. And here's a myth that I'm going to bust for you now, that you're late to the party if you get in now. You're definitely not, folks. Global adoption is way below 10%. In fact, it was below 5% the last time I checked it. So hardly any people have ever heard of it. A lot of people are going to be late to the party. And if you're watching this now, you're still relatively early to get in. So amongst the reputable people I've been following in crypto, the most conservative believes that in this current bull market, and that could be anything to up to a year from now, could be less, but it could be as long as a year. Within this bull cycle, the conservative estimates for Bitcoin are about 200,000. Conservative. So there's some people that will say it's 150,000. That's the lowest that's being predicted by the most conservative person. And some people are saying 1 million, but they're the moon boys, and I wouldn't be buying too much into that. It probably will go to 1 million, but I doubt that it will happen on this cycle. So there you go, folks. You're still relatively early to the party. Now, Bitcoin is the main currency. It's the leader. When Bitcoin, for people of my generation, there was a thing called Bagpuss, and it used to start when Bagpuss wakes up, all his friends wake up. Well, Bitcoin is Bagpuss, folks, and when Bitcoin runs, everything else follows. So Bitcoin is the leader. And for the safe people, for the ones that want safest cryptocurrency, that's Bitcoin. The ones that you can make more gains on are the lower cap ones that run behind it. And then it's all about your risk profile. How much risk do you want to take versus reward? So you've got your blockchains, you've got your standard blockchains that will be the next in line, and they are places that have got great utility. So for my generation, think that this is the Betamax versus the VHS cycle in the market. And there's all sorts of technologies that are all vying for your attention and your adoption. Some have got great technologies, others not so great. But as with Betamax and VHS, the best technology won't always win. The one with the best marketing will. So follow the crowd. If you're looking at cryptos, see how many followers they've got on Twitter, or X as it is now. Go to their Telegram groups, see how active those groups are. Notice how many people are actually following them. And remember that on social media, you can set up thousands of bots. They might not be real. So then you have to look at the token allocations. So many cryptocurrencies, the founders hold on to loads of tokens and they just keep dumping them on the market. Now, I've got other videos on that. That's actually a much more lengthy subject. But to keep it as simple as possible, you've got 3 things. You've got the total supply, the circulating supply, and the maximum supply. So the maximum supply is the maximum amount of tokens there'll ever be. The circulating supply is how many are currently out on the market, and the total supply is how many are currently released. The difference between the total supply and the maximum supply is the amount that hasn't been released that miners can earn as we go along. So Bitcoin, for example, still has about 1 million or so Bitcoins to be mined down the line. So the total supply and the max supply is different. But all you need to know, let's keep this very simple, is the closer that the circulating supply is to the total supply and the maximum supply, the better the tokenomics are and the less chance you are of getting dumped on. So that's the stat that you want to look. Something with a very low circulating supply is is a big red flag in crypto. So that's something that you need to look out for. So you've got your layer one blockchains. Layer one, that means your infrastructures, your ecosystems. And they're things like Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin has its own ecosystem. You've got Cardano, Polkadot. You've got a good few of them and many more emerging ecosystems that have their own users. Then you've got the things that build on them, the layer twos, the thing that add speed or utility to currently existing blockchains, or they add a different level. Or there's some that are about interoperability, that you can buy coins on one chain and you can sell them on another. So there's so many things doing so many things within crypto right now. It's still very early. It's still the early stages of adoption, and there's still quite a lot going on. And as I say, I have very short videos. This is probably the longest video that you'll find of me giving you like the overall picture of what is happening in crypto. So the things that have utility, they're lower risk. Then you've got things like meme coins that have no utility, and it's all about the crowd, the amount of the crowd that go into them. And they're effectively Ponzi schemes. Almost legal Ponzi schemes is what meme coins are. And some people have that risk profile and they go for them. So I'll be covering things I've been looking into. Obviously, you want to make sure there's a kick-ass team with a track record behind them if you can. A lot of crypto, you don't even know who's behind the coins, and you should definitely treat those with high risk. So there's a lot of scams. There's a lot of ways you can lose your crypto. And there's a lot of exchanges that are high risk. And the government wants you to know that. It's high risk, folks. There's lots of people getting scammed. And there is, because you've got the mix between the government making it very difficult for crypto companies to set up and be credible. And you've got a lot of people that are highly motivated in finding increasingly slick methods to relieve you of your crypto. And it is very dangerous, folks. The wrong site or the wrong transaction or the wrong thing. You do one thing wrong and you could lose everything with this. So it's risky. It's definitely risky, but it's a calculated risk. The more you find out, the less risky it becomes. That's the short of the period. And most people that are in crypto are very happy to take that risk now that they understand what's going on. So there's the overall macro picture of what's going on, folks. There's a lot of coins. There's a big movement. We've got what's called the Great Reset, which is what some people are calling the global financial disaster that is about to unfold. As I say, I believe that we now owe 3 times more in interest payments on money printed than we actually earn as a nation. And that's globally. That's if you take every single country globally and take the debt against it. It's unsustainable, folks. In fact, if global finance was a business, it would be shut down and taken to court, and they would be given very long jail terms. If people woke up to what is happening at a governmental level right now, that's the truth. All of the things that government are accusing crypto of is things that they are directly responsible for themselves. And if you call them out on that, you could end up in jail, or you could be delisted for hate speech or something like that. The world is going mad, folks. And for people that understand finance, crypto is their hedge against it. So that's the long and the short. I would invite you to find out more. And I'd also invite you to ask questions, because I can talk about this all day. I prefer to talk about it in smaller videos, in smaller chunks. But if you tell me what you're looking for, if you want to know what you want made simple, which I will do my best to do for you, then leave a comment in the video and tell me what's your question. And I will record videos doing my best to help you to understand what has taken me months and tens of thousands of hours of watching nonsensical content where I didn't understand a lot of the language that was involved in it. So that's the risk you have going into crypto. A lot of people with a lot of opinions and a lot of scammers. and unethical practices, especially on YouTube, folks. Just be aware when people are promoting coins, have they been paid by these companies? Because a lot of people will promote coins that are scams and they don't care that they're scams because they're getting paid to promote them. And the more you buy, they usually get given a bag of them, which they'll probably dump on you when the price goes up. So just be aware of some of these really unethical practices, folks. And good luck in your crypto journey, because you're definitely going to need it. But if you're watching this now, you're still early to the party and there's still a lot of hope to be optimistic, and there's a lot of money to be made if you know what you're doing. And I'm not saying that I even do, folks. I'm here just to comment on what I see around me and to try and simplify crypto.